Namaste, everyone. It's Michelle Skaletski-Boyd, intuitive medium and best-selling author. So when it comes to the energies of duality, it's been really interesting because for the last few years, a lot of people have either wanted to force unity on us, or they have said, I'm going to be in this camp or this camp, and then everything was completely divided. Now, again, this is just my perception, and I'm just simply reading the energy. There's no judgment here. So what occurred then is we had to kind of choose one or the other, but still it was duality. It was not all encompassing. And I feel like this is allowing us to check into the relationship that we have in our inner world so that then we can make adjustments and it will then be reflected in our outer world. So with those of you who are empathic, when you choose to use your empathic gifts as a reason for being codependent, as a reason for enmeshment in terms of other people's energy affecting you, it is your free will choice to show up in that way. It has everything to do with whether or not you're in a codependent relationship with the world, or if you're in an interdependent relationship with the world. And remember, you are co-creating your reality. So the opposite, and again, this is about polarity discussions for just a moment to understand the duality. So when you check in with yourself and you recognize, wow, I've been giving my power away. Wow, I've been letting other people's moods really affect me. In my case, I recognized that I was placing a lot of pressure on myself to show up in a certain way when it came to being a parent. I wanted my kid to show up in a certain way because it was a direct reflection, at least that was my belief, that was a direct reflection of me as her parent. As an empath, you do have the choice as to whether or not you're showing up as a codependent relationship, as someone who is enmeshed in someone else's energy, where you then judge your own identity based on how it is that they appear, or your entire mood changes and alters depend on how they're showing up. Now, opposite extreme of this is to compartmentalize, shut down completely, unplug, and don't engage as much. And these are all good pieces of advice, but what I've watched is that a lot of people who are in codependent relationships, they go to the opposite extreme. They completely unplug and they don't want to have any kind of relationships at all with anybody at all, to the point where they detach. And now they spin out of control because they have no idea who they are without somebody else being plugged into them. So obviously today is about getting in touch with what is happening within you that's causing these polarity, that's causing the duality. So how do we move from pain and suffering, which is the old paradigm, the old 3D reality, to the 5D without feeling so split, so divided? Now, the 4D energy has been very much like feeling like you have one foot on the dock and the other foot on the boat, and you're starting to have to make choices and decisions, and it's been exhausting and tiring because of this duality. And the duality is really it's an illusion. And once you recognize that it's just an illusion, and it's giving you the opportunity to use your free will to choose which timeline, energetic timeline you want to live within, things can be a lot easier. If you are showing up in a way that you become dependent on someone else's mood, someone else's emotions, someone else's energy to determine how you are going to be, there's some memes out there that say, hey, I can read energy, or hey, I'm going to mirror you, and you tell me how we're going to be today. You tell me how the mood's going to be. Now that's funny, like the meme is funny, yet at the same time, this happens every single day where people are showing up as a mirror to someone else. But who are you as a person is the question. You cannot be in an interdependent relationship with yourself if you are relying on other people to tell you and show you who you are. Now, being an empath is a great gift. It's a wonderful gift. Yet we are, as empaths, being asked to step into ourselves more, creating more boundaries. And so if you put yourself out there too much, you might have noticed parasitic vampire relationships. If you started going within way too much, cut yourself off, became completely compartmentalized in terms of not being able to integrate with society, you started to feel a lot of loneliness, you felt rejection, etc. Well, today is about relationships, and I want everybody to just sit in the energies of the relationship that you have with yourself, because my take on this is that codependency also applies to higher self and ego if we allow it. If we have become polarized in our energy. So from a 3D perspective, there's a lot of pain and suffering. From a 4D perspective, people began to awaken and they began to notice that thoughts create reality, that emotions can become overwhelming and also can help manifest things into the physical. Fear can overtake us if we allow worry and concern and doubt to get in the way. It can then turn into anxiety. It could then turn into depression. So if you stay in toxic thoughts, toxic emotions, worry, overwhelm, if you distrust the universe, you don't feel like it has your back, etc., you have hopefully realized that it's because you're co-creating your own reality, and your free will is allowing these things to take place. Today is a new portal, and this talk is going to contain light codes of energetic frequencies designed to activate peace and harmony so you can feel truly supported and truly in oneness with yourself, which is the alignment with 5D reality. So